Welcome to the course Spring Boot. This is lecture 12, establishing relationship between entities. So far in this lecture we have built the state API, and in the last lecture I have told you guys to build the city API for adding the cities in our project. In this lecture we will be establishing a relation between city and state. But before that I just want to walk through that how we build the cities API, and from there we will take on forward that how we can just relate the cities entity with the states entity. So this is our project. What I did is just copied this package, renamed it to cities instead of states, and I've built all the 4 classes that we have built for state similarly for cities. So there is a city controller, there is city.java, and there is city repository and city services class that we have built. So I'll just close the state class just for convenience so that will not make any confusion. So now we have city.java, which is having city code and city name. So we'll be defining a city code and describe the city name. You can just ignore this thing for now. I've already commented out the code, but somehow I missed this one. So you can just ignore that for now. And here you see that there is an empty constructor, and we have a constructor for the cities which is taking the city code and city name. Just comment this out again, and we don't want this, so it's fine. I'm just gonna walk through, so not to uncomment this because we will be using it at the end ultimately. So we have the city code, city name we are setting. So this is a constructor, we have getAsAddress, and this is it in this class. So let's comment this out, and I will walk you through that what all comments I have uncommented so far in this class. In cities controller we have defined the endpoints. We want all the cities. So if you're gonna hit our project URL with /cities, we want the list of all the cities irrespective of which states they are in. So we get all the cities. We have another URL for states and state code and cities. So this is our standard URL, states, and then you pass a state code Georgia. It means that go to the states, look for Georgia, and find all the cities in that state, which is Georgia state. So we want to return the list of all the cities in Georgia state, and we have a path variable as a state code, which will be a determining factor to look for all the cities on the basis of this state code. Similarly, we have another method or URL to get one particular city. So for example, Atlanta, we give a city code of ATL. So in URL states/Georgia/cities/ATL, which is the city code of Atlanta, we should get back Atlanta. So this method is doing that functionality to return one particular city on the basis of the city code. And you need to obviously define it in the URL that which state it belongs to. You can make multiple combination of URLs, whatever you feel like to make. You can build the relationship, but this is like pretty standard that I would like to go through in this coursework. So let's have a look at post. So if you are in states URL within a particular state, for say Georgia, and you are within the cities and you are making a post request, if you are passing a city object and a request body, then we want to create a new city. So we will be adding cities in our DB. Similarly, we will be updating our city. We have the URL for updating cities as states/Georgia/cities/ the code ATL, and we will update that particular city name, whatever we want to specify, whatever other members can be. It can be description or more detail or tourist spots. You can think of different criteria where this project might be required. Moving forward, we want to remove a city. So somehow I just misspell it. So I want to remove city, And for removing a city, we have state code Georgia slash cities slash Atlanta, so for example, like ATL. So I want to remove a city on the basis of a city code which has been passed in URL. So we're gonna remove the city. Likewise, so it is same as what we were doing in states. In state, the only extension we have is we have a different URLs which is including the state code where the city belongs to. So this is our project. We have seen the controller, we have seen the city class, we have city repository, which was as similar to state repository, IMT implementation of CRUD repository. We don't need these comments, it was just for explanation, so just get rid of this. So we have cities repository, which can be an empty list. These are the two custom methods that I have defined. You can just ignore this for a while. And we have city services, where we have our methods defined that I've just discussed, that get all the cities, get cities for a particular state when their state code has been passed, get a particular city when there is a city code has been passed. All those controller has mappings to these methods, which is calling the city repository, and again JPA is playing a role and filtering out our result sets. So this is all what happening behind the scene. If you want to have a look, then just let's go to I just want to run the cities controller, and we'll just go to com.spring and just run our application. And we will run this as a Java application, which includes our these cities and states packages. So it will be definitely included in our project. So we'll wait for our Spring to run on our port 8080. It has started, and let's go back to the Postman and just delete all, remove all. So what we're gonna do, we'll just simply put some state and then see the put request for cities. So for post request, I'm creating Florida. I got 200. Okay. Let's do Georgia. Again, post 200. Now our DB has two states. If you want to test it, then just put a get request and hit the URL /states, and you will see two states have been created. Now let's move forward. Suppose we are inside Georgia and we are inside cities. So we want to have cities in the state of Georgia, list of all the cities. So right now we don't have any because we haven't created any resource. So let's create a new resource. So this is our URL, and we want to put a post request on this URL with our body, which will say now we have to check what parameters we have defined in our city class. So we have city code and city name. So in our data, we want to post city code and city name instead of state code. So city code and city name, which is